What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Monday. I am sick as hell. You can probably hear it. So it was a rough weekend. It was a rough day today, but we're getting through, even through this crappy weather. But we're here to talk a little bit of birds. Now, you don't have to be a Birds fan to enjoy this show. It's really about the top 175 free agents remaining. I'll give you a little dabble for you Eagles fans. If you missed any of that mandatory minicamp stuff, breaking down the entire roster, what everything looks like, all the new players, all the players we've lost, go check that bad boy out. I'll put her down in the comments if you'd like. But we're going to focus more on the free agents here. And, we've got 80 days until the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles return to the field. So we're going to be breaking it down these next couple of months, trying to get through this sicko season. But I told you, once that countdown begins, things just start flying by. So let's fly by together here. And tonight we're going to talk about the free agents. Now, I'll give you the Eagles cap space, their positions of need real quick. Then we'll look at the free agents. I have another show. I wanted to put them together, but I've got 20 players that I think the Eagles, potential trade targets. True sicko. But we'll go over that in a different show. This one right here, all of the free agents. Love to hear your thoughts on this one. Appreciate you all taking the time. Not a live one, but love to hear your comments down below. And appreciate you hitting that like button, sharing, subscribing. All that stuff really does help. So thank you for that. Now, the Eagles cap space. The other day, I gave you an update. I did the math myself. Now, the numbers came out today. I really apologize. I was $2 off. It is not 30,782,778. It is 30,782,776. So, my bad. Missed it by $2 there. But just so you know, as I've mentioned, once you sign Makuba, you're still going to have around $30 million. So, Eagles want to sign someone. They want to trade for someone. They want to do whatever the hell they want. They can. Don't listen to anybody kicking the kid down the road. Oh, well, dead money. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. The Eagles are just fine. I can promise you that. Now, when you're looking at this roster, it's stacked. I feel really good. They're going to go back-to-back, win the Super Bowl. But when you're looking at positions of need, it's not really that we need anything. But looking at the strength, it's really positions of strength backwards. So these are the places where I would look. God forbid anything happens to Goddard. You don't know if Calcaterra and Harrison Bryant, I love the addition, but I can't promise. Same with Ringo, hoping he steps up. But if he's not, you could probably use someone there. Edge defender. I'm probably the most excited person out here about that room. But you want to add a veteran presence? Okay, not against it. And, looking at safety, I feel really confident in Sidney Brown and Makuba battling out, to play next to Reed Blankenship, but I don't know. So these are the places where there's question marks. Linebacker. Really excited about the future, but got some injuries. Wide receiver. Is someone going to step it up behind Dotson? Obviously, Anais Smith, Johnny Wilson drafted last year, but you need other guys to step it up. And then you can see interior D-line. You added Ty Robinson. I feel good there. And then as you go through, I don't think the Eagles need to add anywhere. But when you've got that cap space, you have that luxury. You feel, hey, let's make sure, because injuries do happen. Things happen in this league. You've got the depth. That is what you want to have, or maybe guys that can start, whatever it is. So you've seen all that information. Now let's get into these free agents and let me know how you feel about it. We'll go through the offense, then we'll go through the defense, and we'll start it off with quarterbacks. And this is a weird sight. Carson Wentz sitting on top of this trash pile. But look, no, not to knock anyone in the NFL. Great job for them. But slim pickings when it comes to backup quarterbacks here. What a fall from grace it has been for Carson Wentz. Goes to show you a little bit of shitty attitude can take you down a long way. So unfortunate for him. But you got guys like Huntley, Ritter, Bethard, Bridgewater, Driscoll, Fromm, Book. If you need a backup quarterback, you've got a few available. If you need to sign one of these people, may God help you. Now, moving into running back, you just saw Cam Akers signed by the Saints the other day. And, this is another position where slim pickings. You had a couple of guys last week, but now it's Jeff Wilson at the top. So, yeah, Jamal Williams, Gus Edwards. You got Foreman, Abdullah, Johnson, Hasty, Edmonds, Evans, Kelly. Yeah. So, look, these could be good RB3, RB4. You have an injury. Maybe you need a short yardage back. There's a couple of those guys in there. Return men. So, you've got options. If you need a running back, there are definitely some out there. Now, fullback, another position. There's a few guys out there that, hey, you need somebody. The Eagles got Ben Van Sumeren, but can he stay healthy? So there are some options available out there. And then moving right along into the wide receivers here, you've got yourselves some pretty big names. Some of these guys, I think, in the right system could still show a lot. Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. You got Gabe Davis there, Tyler Boyd. You got Chark, Aguilar, Robinson, Powell, Darden, Tompkins. So it starts to fade a little bit there, once you get into the Du Bois and the Schwartz and the Ozlewskis. But there's definitely some guys available. You need a receiver, especially you need a veteran. Some top guys still available out there. So, hey, man, it's crazy to see guys like Keenan Allen, but some of these guys wait for the right situation, and it's not always a horrible choice to make. Now, at tight end, you've got some options here. This is one of those spots I talked about the Eagles where I think the Eagles should look for the future, but also be ready right now. Now, you added Harrison Bryant, who I had as my top free agent tight end, so I feel comfortable there. Don't know that I would add from here, maybe more so a trade candidate, but we'll talk about that on a different show. But if you're looking for a tight end, you have a few options available, whether receiving or blocking. You've got some options there. Now, moving into the offensive line, we'll go to the tackles first. You got Jedrick Wills there, George Fant, Okorafor, Andres Pete, Isaiah Witt. You got some former first-round picks here. You've got some big names. And look, if you're looking for a veteran tackle, there are definitely some available and in the right situation. If they can stay healthy, hey, sky's the limit for some of these guys. And then at guard, you've got Brandon Sheriff, ex-Washington Commander. You've got Dalton Risner, who I think could start for a lot of these teams. So maybe he's waiting for that right, situation. You got some guys like Hernandez, Feliciano, Shaq Mason. You've got, veteran pieces here, some former Eagles, Driscoll, Anderson there. So, you're looking for an interior guy. You have some options, and the same goes at the center position here. Daniel Brunskill there, Harris, Feeney, Mustapher, Lemieux. You've got guys. Look, if you're looking for a backup that could possibly start, you've got some guys with starting experience there. So as far into this offseason as we are, 80 days away from Eagles football, still got a bunch of guys still available on the offensive side of the ball. So if your team's looking for it, let's go. But the Eagles, I think we're perfectly fine, and I don't know that we need any of those guys. So let me know how you feel. Do you think the Eagles should sign any of those guys? Are you a fan of a different team watching this show? Let me know how you feel your team would do with one of these players. Whatever's on your mind, love to hear from you. But let's jump into this defense, and, well, some big names here too. We'll start it off with the interior defensive linemen, the D tackles, the big boys. Jonathan Bullard starting us off. We've got some, Williams, Johnson, Bryant, Jefferson. I think a lot of these guys could be your DT3, rotate in, and bring you a lot of value here, especially Jonathan Bullard. I think he's still got a lot left in the tank. So, look, some good possibilities for the Eagles. Again, you drafted Ty Robinson, you brought back Gabe Hall. You have a Jomo here with Thomas Booker. Byron Young was brought in. So you've got competition. I don't know that we need a veteran piece having Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis already here. So I'm good there, but let me know how you feel. And then the edge. This is where everybody losing their minds. Now, I'm confident in Nolan Smith and Hunt. I love the signings of Uche and Ojulari. Brought back Patrick Johnson. You drafted Powell Ryland. So I think the Eagles have a lot of depth. But what they don't have is really a true veteran. You have, Uche and Ojulari been around for a few years. But, you've got some big names here, man. You want to add a guy on the edge, Von Miller, who used to play for Vic Fangio. I mean, obviously, that's a big one for a lot of people. But you've got Clowney, Judon, Smith. So Zadarius and Preston are still out there. You've got a lot of names. Jerry Hughes, that wouldn't cost as much, that I think, you could bring in and could do well in this system. So for me, there's some trade candidates I'd probably be more inclined to. But, hey, at the right price, why not bring in one of these veterans? You want to add them to the mix, let them compete this offseason? I am not against it. Now, at the linebacker position, I feel the Eagles drafting Smile Munden. Obviously, Jihad Campbell a little banged up, but I think Trotter and Munden will be able to, kind of get things done while we wait to see with Dean and Campbell there. But they're, part of the future. We'll see which guy wins that out with Bond there. But hey, maybe you don't feel confident, and guys like Dixon and Gant back there. Maybe you want somebody that actually has experience, and you use Trotter and Munden as special teamers. Hey, I'd love to see Trot step it up or Munden. But if not, former Eagle Kaiser White out there. C.J. Mosley's a stud. Bentley, I think you could take a shot on someone like him. But there are some big names out here and some guys with a lot left in the tank that I think if you're looking for depth, you could add. I don't think it's necessarily a must, but hey, you've got some good talent out there. Now into the secondary, starting at corner, dude, you've still got Stephon Gilmore out there. And I know Jair Alexander is the big name, and he would be my top guy if he could stay healthy. And obviously one of the best abilities is availability. So still, I would not be against adding someone like Jair Alexander at the right price, giving a veteran presence here, not just Adoree Jackson to compete with Kaylee Ringo for that other outside spot. But you've heard it. Coop could play a little outside, move Mac McWilliams maybe inside. A lot of things could go down, but you want to add a veteran presence. Look, we've got a lot of guys out there. Kendall Fuller, Rasul Douglas, Sante Samuel Jr.'s out there. You've got yourself quite a list of names. Darian Kendrick was just waived by the Rams there. So, look, if you're looking for a corner, you definitely have, some guys out here. And I will make that trade show, and you'll see some other candidates. But I think this is one of those spots where if the Eagles are looking to add a veteran, Stephon Gilmore, to really help these young guys continue to grow, I think they'll be just fine. But adding a vet to the mix wouldn't be against it. Gilmore and Alexander, maybe putting Mike Hilton in at the slot, Coop outside. I don't know, whatever they plan on. But Kendall Fuller, Rasul Douglas, hey, Sante Samuel, maybe when healthy, you find something from him. I don't know, but you guys let me know how you feel. We're going to finish it off here with the safeties. And a big one, Justin Simmons. I know a lot of people feel need to add him. And I've said it, at the safety spot as well. Wouldn't mind a little veteran presence there. But to me, Brown and Makuba will be fighting for that other job next to Blankenship. But you've also got McCollum. You've got Scene back there, Andre Sam, the undrafted kid Maxon Hook, and Brandon Johnson. So you have a lot of competition. But if you want to bring in a more veteran piece, someone that knows Vic Fangio's defense, well, Justin Simmons is there. You've also got Blackman and Whitehead and Poyer, Williams, Diggs, Wallace, Johnson, May, Neal, all a bunch of names here that I think would be depth. So Simmons, he could start. He could be beat out even, and getting a little older, so maybe you can get him at the right price. But let me know how you feel about it. I'm looking forward to that trade show, get you a little more into my mind as to what I would do if I were the Eagles. But again, I think the Eagles are going back-to-back, winning the Super Bowl with the roster they have right now. If they want to get better, it's only going to make me feel better about that assessment. So all I've got for you here tonight, but would love to hear your thoughts on this. Offense, defense, whatever you think the Eagles need to add, let me know down below. And I will get that trade show out to you as soon as I can. Keep trying to provide you with as much content as I possibly can while we get through these 80 days until the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles return. And I cannot effing wait for that. But I hope you're all having a great start to your week. Truly appreciate you all taking the time and liking this stuff and sharing and subscribing. It really, as much as I say it over and over again, it means the world and it does help. So thank you for that. And if you guys need anything else, it does not have to be about the Birds. I'm always here for you guys as you are for me. Hope you have a safe rest of your night. Again, seriously, reach out if you need anything. I know it's been a few days, so I hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm going to try to rest up and get a little better. I can't breathe at all, but and look, I destroyed my finger too. I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted, but it's still pretty haggard. But we're going to try to rest up here, heal up. But I love you guys. And until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!